Here's the moment of truth here. I'm going to build a guitar pedal today 100% powered by fruits and vegetables, inspired by the Back to the Future movie, you know, where Doc chucks a whole bunch of trash inside the DeLorean to fuel it up. While making this video, I also came across another really cool pedal, the McPherson. Now this pedal isn't 100% powered by its fruit and veg battery, but it's still a very cool design, and we'll dig into that a bit later, so stay tuned. My question today is really simple. Can a single piece of fruit or veg power an effects pedal? Now you probably already know that if you put a piece of copper, like a copper wire, and zinc, like a galvanized nail, into a lemon, it creates a voltage. But you might not know that this also works with loads of other fruits and vegetables as well. Now I want to see if that can actually power an effects pedal. Okay, I'm going to show you really quickly how it works. So first you need some sort of power source. So in this case we're going to have a banana. Then we need to skewer this banana with two electrodes, a copper one and a zinc one. So I'm using a copper nail and a galvanized nail, which will give you the zinc. Right, now the copper side is going to be your positive and the galv side is going to be your negative. And you're going to get around 1 volt from a banana and almost no current. This makes it really challenging to power the circuit. So the positive is going to go to the positive rail of your circuit and the negative is going to go to the negative rail of your circuit, just like you would connect up a battery. Exactly how you connect up a battery actually. Now the circuit, the Produce preamp that I have designed for this particular project is extremely simple. It only requires a few parts. It is a free download on my website, links in the description. Just think of whatever you use, a banana, it could be a potato, it could be a pineapple, whatever you're going to use, just think of it as a battery with a plus and a minus going from those two electrodes. I'm going to make sure I try this with an array of different fruits and vegetables, just what I've got around the house, to see if it gives much or if any tone difference at all. But I'm pretty sure it will, considering that different fruits and vegetables, depending on their age and the type of fruit and vegetable it is, will give a different amount of voltage. So it's going to be quite interesting. Now, some of you guys out there might be asking, what is even the point of this? Now, for me, it's just curiosity. I want to see if I can actually do it. And I thought it'd be really funny turning up to a gig with one of these veggie powered pedals on my board. But also, as you're going to find out, exploring lower voltage circuits that are designed and tuned to run off lower voltage, not just starving them, which also sounds great by the way, but it's quite different, can yield some insanely cool tones that you just can't get any other way. Let's build this pedal first and see if it even works. This should be fun. Okay, so here is the electrode panel that I have built. I've got my copper nail here, my galvanized one. It's just two pieces of mahogany that I have sandwiched together, and I've got the individual wires coming out from each electrode. I've routed like a little channel inside there just so those wires had somewhere to go. So that is what is going to be on top of the pedal. Okay, so here it is, all done and ready to go. Looking at it, I can definitely see some potential design flaws, but hey, what's the worst that can happen? The pedal is now all ready to go. I can't wait to try it out. Now, the Produce preamp that I built into here is free on my website, so just check the link in the description. Also, there's a free section there I just created. Go in there and just download all the free stuff. I'm gonna try and add to that fairly regularly. Okay, here we go. So the pedal is on. Obviously, there's nothing at the moment. Here's the moment of truth here. Haha. That sounds pretty awesome actually. It's like I showed just before, that copper nail and that zinc nail are just piercing into this banana and creating a voltage in a tiny amount of current, and that's why I used a JFET circuit, because it doesn't need to draw that much, but I can only just make it run. I'm going to do a quick fire fruit off in a minute, so I'm going to use lots of different bits of fruit. I want to see if there's actually a difference in the fruit themselves, because if you're into Eric Johnson, he was very particular about the batteries he used in one of his pedals, and it was true because those particular batteries actually put out more voltage. I'm sure it'll be a similar sort of situation. Certain fruits are going to put out more voltage and it should sound different. But the thing I'm noticing is that it kind of compresses, so when you dig in, because the fruit battery can't supply the current and the voltage needed to really run the circuit properly. It sort of has its own like compression built in. The other thing to note is that it is kind of like a debooster preamp. So it cleans up your amps. This is the amp at the moment. And this is it with the Produce preamp. Anyway, let's get into that quick fire fruit round. I think this is like a massive apricot. I don't know if that sounds better or worse. Anyway, next. This looks like an apple, but it's some sort of apple-y pear thing. You know what I've just realized? I actually don't know a lot about different fruits. You know what's going to be really funny if this actually starts a debate about tone fruits? I can definitely feel like that one's got way less voltage. It's only barely. It's actually cleaner than those other two. Okay, this one should be pretty grunty. This is like a, oh man, I want to say a little grapefruit. I'm going to still say the banana's been the most gruntiest. All right, next we've got the saddest potato. Look at this potato. Look how sad it is. It's like the wrinkliest, oldest potato. If Deadpool was a potato. I have to say, potatoes are actually one of the gruntier fruits as far as voltage. And you can definitely hear. By the way, this is not a pedal I'm going to be selling ever. This is just something for you to create at home if you want to do it. A green apple. I don't know if I can get that to sit on there. How am I going to stab that one in? Ooh, you can feel it fading. Can really feel that one fading out, but as you can see, you pull out the battery and it's off. I realized we had a pineapple. I thought this could be really cool as well. Oh, is it going to be the thing? Oh, the pineapple is definitely the best. Yeah, pineapple all the way. Not the most practical, but definitely the best tone out of all of those fruits. Okay, so now we're going to look at another way of doing this that it's probably going to be a bit more practical in terms of getting more out of the fruit battery. A different way of doing a similar thing is with a modified version of my NanoVolt Fuzz. Now, Plus members, this schematic is going to be free for you for a limited time. Links down in the description. Also, I'll have a short video over there showing you the inside of this pedal. I also have free accounts over there, so go over there and check out the site and grab a free account. This way is similar to the FluoroVolt in that the fruit or veg is adding to an existing power source inside the pedal already and adding some series resistance as well. So each piece of fruit or veg will sound a little different. For this alternate method, what is actually happening is there is some sort of power source already in the pedal. So in this case, for the NanoVolt Fuzz, I have already put 2 AA batteries in there, so 3 volts. But other designs could be using a supercapacitor or some other way of adding that little bit of voltage. So we've got a negative side of the battery and our positive side. The negative side goes to ground inside the circuit, just like with that last one, but this side, the positive side, is going to go to the negative side of your fruit. So this side is going to go to the negative side of your fruit. That's the side with the galvanated nail going into it. And the positive side, this is the copper nail on this side. And that goes out and feeds the circuit. So that goes to the positive rail of the circuit. The negative rail of the circuit goes down to ground. Exactly where that is tied. The obvious difference here is we've got some form of power source already in the pedal. In this case, I'm using 2 1.5 volt batteries giving me 3 volts. These are put in series with the fruit or veg battery, which would normally give a little extra voltage out the side, except we've got a load, which is the Nano Fuzz. So that's going to drop that voltage a bit because this piece of produce here actually has quite a bit of internal resistance. So it's like having a resistor here at the same time. It's definitely going to affect how the NanoVolt Fuzz is going to respond depending on what type of fruit or veggie. In the circuit, I've included an output volume because it does actually boost quite a lot. And I've also included a bias control. So you can adjust the bias depending on what type of fruit or veg you've got plugged in, because it all comes down to how much voltage it puts out and how much resistance is going to be between those two electrodes, the galv and the copper electrode. One other really cool option, and something that I've tried which sounds really good, is moving this piece of fruit away from here and putting it in the same position where you'd normally put a bias resistor. So just say we've got a basic transistor stage here. Obviously I'm missing a lot of parts, but you can put it in place of this resistor here, the collector resistor, and that will vary the sound of your circuit depending on what resistance is in this position here. So that's another cool way you can incorporate the fruit or veg battery into the circuit, is by replacing this part with the fruit or veg battery. I know this sounds complete nuts. While I'm saying it out loud, it almost sounds too crazy. Right, I'm going to install that NanoVolt Fuzz into that enclosure now, and we will see how it sounds with all those same fruits and vegetables we used last time. Let's do it. Right, so let's plug this in now and see what it sounds like. So I'm using this bias control here so I can sort of fine tune it for each power source. Okay, so let's do the same thing again. Quick fire fruit round. Okay, orange. Apricot. Here we've got an output volume. I've got it set to half because it's actually pushing pretty hard. Nashi pear. Apple. Cool. The potato. Generally potatoes are good. The potato is always good. And finally, massive pineapple, which was my favorite last time. Oh, you can already hear it. You can already hear it. Oh. Pineapple wins every time. Out of a lot of the projects I've done so far on the channel, this one has definitely been one of the most fun, and it's even got my kids really interested. I love it if more people experiment with low voltage circuits. The texture's just so much different. It feels different. It kind of compresses in a really nice way. They are really fun circuits to play with, and not just for fuzz. It's just one of those areas that I just don't think is explored very much. Everyone's going for higher voltage, where I think some of the magic is in those low voltage circuits, especially when they're designed specifically for low voltage, like I said earlier, not just starved voltage, which does sound cool in its own right, but it is not the same thing. Anyway guys, hope you really enjoyed that. Have a great week.